Hello, Reese.
How are you doing?
Golden like a honey badger. How has training gone in isolation? Because I know you like to go to the gym.
Training has been challenging, but obviously I have a lot of passion for fitness and it's what kind of keeps me sane. So luckily our gym let us borrow some of the equipment and we could bring it home. So I have some equipment here and dumbbells and kettlebells and stuff. I go out for 10K runs, cycles, stuff like that. So I'm doing the best to keep myself fit and doing, some exercises, body weight, that kind of stuff. But it seems to be working. So far, I've not gone nuts.
That's just exhausting listening to kettlebells and running and cycling and this. Would you say you have made any gains in your isolation training, or is it more about maintenance?
For me, it's more about maintenance. It's very difficult when you have a very strict training regime and you follow a specific diet and stuff. When your muscles are not being stimulated with very heavy weights, it's hard to really try and gain muscle. So for me at the moment, it's really just to sustain and sort of just maintain, really.
Awesome. Well, I'm very pleased you're able to do that. So we'll still have a hench, a Lucullus. Second question, how have you been able to do anything artistically during lockdown?
If I'm being completely honest, in lockdown, I've lacked a lot of motivation. I have done some minor accent work and I have done a few self-tapes, but predominantly I've found it to be a very unmotivating period, which is not great for your mindset because as a performer and an artist, you feel like you're just being lazy and that, you're just copying off and not really being dedicated. So, I'm ashamed to admit it, but no, I've not really done much as a performer in lockdown. I'm afraid I've lacked motivation.
Well, that's okay. I mean, that's quite a common thing. I mean, I myself haven't done anything during lockdown purely because the opportunities are not only so scarce, but they often require you to have not only an amazing camera and amazing sound, but also abilities to edit and eventually you're just making your own movie. What have you done during isolation to keep you in a good mental state besides training? I know that helps you.
I try to get out of the flat. I go for walks. I talk to a lot of people. I socialise, whether it be on Zoom chats like this, or Skype video chats, or just telephone calls. Just making sure that I'm still getting to interact with the world and not just be locked up like I'm under house arrest. It's a very surreal situation to find yourself in 2020. I mean, I had so many plans. I was due to go on holiday. We were scheduled to be in Paris filming. And so, yeah, it's been hard, but you just sort of just try and maintain some kind of level of normality to keep yourself sane. So going out, stuff like that.
Where were you going to go on holiday?
I was going to go to Fuerteventura in the Canary Islands, but I did not.
May I ask, were you able to rebook it or get the money back at least?
We got the money back, and I'm glad because had we rebooked it, it wouldn't have been useful to me.
One day to have all the money in the world where you could just spin a globe and put your finger and be like, I'm going there.
Well, actually, I think in the case of that, you would probably spin the globe and go, no, not that one. No, not that one either, because then you have the abundance of choice and you start to get very picky.
That's true. You would have to have almost gone to all the places you'd want to go to then have the freedom to just be like, whatever, I'll just go anywhere. Okay, and my final question is, how do you think the industry will be post-isolation? Do you think it's going to change?
I mean, I'm a very positive, optimistic kind of person normally. I don't like to view things with a pessimistic attitude, but I do feel like isolation and the whole COVID-19, I feel like it's going to set my career back by a couple of years because there's just so many things that are going to be different. There's going to have to be social distancing measures in place. And then what do you do if there's intimacy in certain scenes? And it's just, I don't know. It just sounds like there's going to be a lot of changes that need to be incorporated before we get back to what we once had. So it's very scary. It's a very sort of wandering into the unknown kind of a situation.
I saw a BBC article from a producer in the film industry who was saying, expect lots of films in space and underwater because you can control it with a small number.
I saw the exact same article.
So which would you rather, space or underwater?
Space. Space is cool. I mean, who doesn't want to be up in space and looking at the universe and looking down on the Earth? I mean, what a surreal experience. I wish I could be an astronaut and go to the International Space Station, but maybe one day, I have all the money in the world, I can.
I mean, obviously it's a film set, so you won't actually be in space to look down on it.
Oh, I know that, but see, you're missing the point here, Ellis. We're actors. We're supposed to have a vivid imagination. So in my world, I'll be in space, not on set. I'll be in space. Method acting.
Okay, thank you so much, Reece. I'm pleased you're doing well in isolation. And thank you very much for doing this little interview.
No problem. Always a pleasure to hear from you and look forward to getting back on set together. So it's been a pleasure.
Perfect. Okay, you take care, Reece.
You too.
Yeah.